Oh, hello, yes. Well, it's getting to smell a bit like June, yeah. That kind of sunshine after showers. It's quite nice, actually. Anyway, the world trundles on. Glorious to see the radiant princes and princesses and future queens out yesterday, according to the newspapers anyway. Yes, it's astounding to me the way that they can read so much into tea leaves. Yeah, the palace releases a photograph of a woman, and they devote entire pages to trying to figure out what does it mean she's leaning against a tree. I don't know, maybe she's lazy, I don't know. Anyway, yesterday, that was yesterday, wasn't it? I managed to get in first on a Turning Point survey, because these right-wing organisations do like surveys. So, they put this one up. Who are the real extremists, they said. Is it Hope Not Hate or Reform? And as you can see, the answers are it's Reform that are the real extremists. Yes, you can't argue with the figures, Hope Not Hate. And if you think that in some way it's a biased thing, then you have to basically start questioning all of the stuff that comes out of Tufton Street. Them's the rules. Unless, of course, it's just me bending things, in which case it's part of a plot to bring down the West. Yes, anyway, moving on from such delectations, the right-wing press, because it's so obvious that it's going to be a Labour landslide, have now been reduced to the ultimate in scare tactics. So there is no hyper that cannot be perboled, basically, by them. And a lot of people have pointed this out, but I do have to go back to it from Friday in the Telegraph. Labour's privatisation school VAT plan could hit rural areas like 1980s pit closures. Yes! Triumph of Thatcherism, if you think about it, because here we had a completely useless and outdated industry that wasn't really fitting for purpose anymore, and we needed to move away from it. So we did. It needed strong, bold leadership to do that, didn't it? Yes, because it didn't affect people that sent their kids to private school, so it didn't matter that entire communities were thrown under the bus because nobody had a proper industrial strategy. Yes, that was okay, wasn't it? Of course it was. Yes. Oh, you've got to smile at these things. And of course, when the dust settles, private schools will still be operating, and those kids will still go into the state sector, which unfortunately these days actually does that job of educating people far better than the private sector does, unfortunately. Because, of course, the Tories are always boasting about that, aren't they? Yeah, we've got best education system in the world now, haven't we? Yeah, is it? Yeah, according to them, anyway. Can't have it both ways, unfortunately. Anyway, just to bring on some of the usual suspects, your friend of mine, James Esses. Please give him some money. You can see his totals really rocketing towards not getting anywhere at all. Yes, anyway, he posted this up yesterday, which I thought was I don't know. I just thought to myself, do you know what? I think that's grounds for somebody to pay him a visit, to be quite honest. Anyway, this flyer arrived today. Okay, kind of bit of a giveaway perhaps for the local area is the definition of virtue signalling. Yeah, what on earth does Pride or NHS have to do with paving and landscaping? The best I can think up, come back to that, is someone needs to be treated by a doctor wearing a rainbow lanyard after tripping on a loose paving stone. Yes, you see, one of the problems that James has, amongst the multitude of problems that James has had in the past, bearing in mind he's arrived at this point, is that he can't possibly think about why somebody might not think like him. And you would have thought that somebody that wanted to be a therapist, it would be a kind of a starting point, yeah? That basic level of self-awareness, which of course he doesn't, all right? So because James can't get his head round this, it must be that everybody else can't get their head round it. Now, if I was ordering a service, let's say, hypothetical situation, right, for example, I'm a woman who feels vulnerable at night. Am I going to want to get into a cab that has a male driver or a female driver? I might well want a female-only service. But why on earth would somebody want such a thing, says James. People are perfectly fine at night. I go out all the time. Yeah, can't quite get my head round it. And if I was having somebody come to my house, I'd want to know they weren't a chuffing bigot, yeah? I'd want a big sign on their back saying, I'm not a chuffing bigot, James. Anyway, there's Mike's Paving and Landscaping, and more power to Mike's elbow on that. I hope he picks up a lot of non-James related stuff from that. Why not, yeah? Yeah, why not say, do you know what? I'm not an arse. Ooh. Yes, Helen Joyce posted this up yesterday. This was doing the rounds from a few days ago. Actually, I think it was Friday night that this one it was Thursday night. Anyway, something like that this broke, okay? The Met Police put out a flyer about a person they're concerned with, okay? And they said, Sarah is missing from Bromley. She's last seen on 13/4/24, and we're concerned for her. Right, okay? Somebody's been missing for a long time. Quite an important thing, right? Okay, so immediately the GCs and shortly after Helen jumped on this and they said, "Oh, it's a bloke. It's disgusting. It's a bloke." Okay then. I don't know if it is or not. It's kind of missing the point in a lot of ways. But the thing that I had to smile about this, of course, was that Helen Joyce is very often misgendered because you take one look at Helen Joyce and you think, I'm not entirely sure about that being a Helen. And I can't actually. I've been trying for several hours to find a definitive one about that, but there have been several times on Twitter when she's gone on about a male person who may or may not be an offender, and someone's pointed out that yeah, it looks like a bloke, and someone else has to say, no, that's Helen Joyce. But, that's just me being rude, isn't it? Eh, Helen? That's just me being rude about those things, yeah. And we had the inevitable Graham Linehan, who's definitely now basically going full-on homophobe. Good luck, Graham. Good luck, mate, okay? There's no point in keeping with those old-fashioned stuffs that you actually care about L or G or B people. Of course, yeah? We can get past that now. So he's put this up, which is, for those of you that don't know, this is Michael Cashman, who's a famous gay actor from the 1980s, very famously until recently. BBC's major number of complaints was him kissing an actor, a male actor, on EastEnders way back around about the time of the AIDS score, about 85, I think. Anyway, hello, is that Aaron A. Aardvark from Aardvark Cabs? Why are you not flying the rainbow pride flag on any of your taxis? Yes, you see how hilarious that is, right? Okay, because this guy's goes to write comedies. Hilarious, yes, you see, just have a go at people we don't like. And again, one might say, you can't imagine a world whereby somebody who was gay would want a gay cab driver. Can you, Graham? No. Of course not, eh? Yeah? Maybe Graham should start up a few businesses, bigot specialists, whereby you can have, if you're a true English patriot, let's say, you can have a bunch of bigots come round your house and spout racist drivel to you all day long, just to really reaffirm your opinions, eh? Anyway, yeah, we have the whole LGB alliance who have been jumping up and down again at the weekend, and, I don't know, you see, I mean, the mere fact that somebody is gay, all right, is one of those things that I think most people in society don't really care about. But there is this manoeuvre amongst people like the LGB Alliance into this notion that there's only one type of gayness that's acceptable, all right? Okay, you can be a gay man, all right? But you have to be an absolutely 100% gay man, because that's precisely what gay men are. I used to meet people like this back in the 80s or the 90s especially, right, okay? There is only one type, okay? You're not allowed to be bisexual because that's a bit namby-pamby and, you're not really being honest with yourself. I mean, you're either a gay bloke that can't admit it, or a gay woman or lesbian that can't admit it, or basically you're a dilettante and we can just ignore you. And, you meet I've met quite a few people like that in the past. You meet a certain percentage of people like that. A certain percentage of people like that. Because they want to claim a particular notion of sexuality for themselves, which is effectively where the LGB Alliance comes in. And it's one of the reasons why, despite their high visibility, no sign of the helpline yet, you notice, but anyway, despite their high visibility, that people dislike them intensely, because they have that very prescriptive, you have to listen to us because we're in charge view of things. Anyway, God, that was getting strident, wasn't it? But I do remember people like that, yeah, especially sort of early 90s when I was working in that field, when you did actually get a lot of people like that. And that was it. You just never quite, you were never pure gay enough for them. Anyway, do have a lovely day. Yes, I think it's time to get up and get out. Yeah, that'll be good. Briefly anyway, there's no point being a fool about it.